Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to my page. My name is Albert Gorman of Damwell Film and Photography, and I am a hybrid shooter in the sense of I like to do photography and videography. I like to focus in on the wedding industry, corporate industry, real estate, and just lifestyle portraits, and just having fun with my camera and just learning new ways to, I guess, make income, but ultimately still produce the highest quality that I feel like I can do. So there's always room for growth. And today I want to talk about the Sigma 24-70 Mark II 2.8. It is a gem, man. Like, I never had the first one, but I did trade in one of my older lenses to get this, and I have no regrets. I used it over the summer for about 4 to 5 weddings, a couple of corporate stuff, and some portraits and stuff like that. So I think I got enough usage out of it to give my thoughts and my feedback on it, and I truly love the lens. So, you know, we're breaking into it right now. My son is quiet, so let's actually get into it right now. Let's hit the intro. Alright, so let's get into this thing right here, man. This is the Sigma, like I said, the 24-70 Mark II. Let's talk about the build quality of it. It is extremely well built. It has all the function buttons that you would need and then some. I believe they added the aperture click here. I'm not too sure. I never had the first one, but this is perfect for me because I do hybrid a lot. So I can even have it clicked or de-clicked. For when I'm doing photography, I prefer to have my aperture kind of click so I can just kind of feel that, yeah, making that stop up or stop down. But in video, you prefer to have it smooth, especially if you're recording. You don't want to just see sudden, you know, like exposure changes that look too drastic. So you can kind of smoothly adjust it. So just having that alone almost is just worth its weight in gold, honestly, as a hybrid shooter, right? It gives you all the function buttons as well. I believe we got 2 here. We got the autofocus and manual focus switch here. The focus rings is really smooth. I can't say I use it that much. I do use autofocus a lot, but the focus ring is really smooth, so I do appreciate that. And it is like the barrel extends out when you want to zoom out and zoom in. Please, I hope I didn't get that part wrong, but it does zoom out and zoom in, unlike my Sigma 18-35, the APS-C lens. It doesn't move. It's like an internal zoom, right? So if you don't like that, then I can understand. I don't mind it. And also, like, it's kind of different where it has this piece that kind of pops out. So I think they cut the weight in the body of the lens, which I think is really interesting. When I first got it, it kind of looked weird to me. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but as I've been using it now, I actually appreciate it. I like it a lot, and yeah, I got no complaints on it. The weight of it is fairly good. I don't feel like it's a heavy lens for as great quality of glass that it is. I don't feel like it's heavy, especially coming from the 35-150 Tamron. That was a beefy lens, and I got used to working with it, but it was very heavy. So switching over from that to this is like baby food for me, you know? So definitely the build quality, I think I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I really want to give it a 10 out of 10, but I don't think nothing is really perfect. So I'll try to give it the highest as I can, and definitely it's a 9 out of 10. In some people's eyes, it might be a 10, but I love it. From what I've been using and what I came from, this is probably my best feeling lens that I bought, and it feels premium with all the buttons and all the functions that it has. Also, the Tamron had a lot of functions as well, so that's kind of on par, but I love it though. I got no complaints on that. And yeah, last thing too, ergonomically, I think, yeah, just that little barrel part right here kind of helps you, kind of, in a way. It's not so like fat. I know it sounds weird, but like, I got used to just really controlling and handling this. This is the Sony A6700, so I do pair it with this sometimes because it does give me that extra reach, and it gives me similar to what my Tamron 35-150 did for the A7 IV, as far as like a 35 to I guess 105 on the 6700. But it's just something that I don't mind at all, so I do like to pair these two together as well. So yeah, that's the build quality. All right, so next I want to talk about pretty much the image quality. I think it might be the most important part, obviously, when it comes to a lens. As far as just just based off what I get from pictures and photos, it is stunning, man. Like honestly, it's super sharp. I believe all the focal lengths. I don't have any complaints. Whereas again, on some of my older lenses, there were points where I didn't like certain, like it didn't hit the focus the way I wanted to. Obviously, I only had this for about 4 months now, so I can't give you like a super in-depth, but I haven't had no issues where the focus didn't hit, where it didn't perform the way I wanted it to perform. It performed better. I'm gonna toss up some images and some photos for y'all to see, but like overall the image quality is amazing for me. It is an improvement from what I've been using in the past, and I can't really see myself really getting much better than this. I tried a few G Masters before, but definitely it's not worth the price. So I feel like for the price and the quality you're getting with this lens, it might be my best, you know what I mean? So got no complaints on that. Obviously from 24 to 70 is a standard zoom range, so that range does give me enough for what I do, especially within weddings, because you know in weddings sometimes you might be in a smaller room, so that 24 really gives you enough space and wiggle room to kind of get the whole scene. Or if you're doing like family portraits, not even family portraits, like the whole bridal party and like the mom, dads, the extended cousins, all of that, and you want to do one big group photo, that 24 gives you wide enough to take care of that. But at the same time, you can punch in with the 70, and like I said, if it's on my APS-C camera, you know, I can punch in even more. So the standard zoom range is very critical for what I do, especially in weddings and just event coverage. So that's perfect as well. As far as like the bokeh and like distortion and stuff like that, the bokeh on it, I'm not a bokeh master. I like it. It looks good to me. It's smooth. It rounds off really nice. It's very pleasant. It's not distracting. It doesn't take away from your subject. So I just think the bokeh on this lens actually complements whatever you're trying to focus on. So definitely thumbs up on the bokeh part of it. Distortion is not too crazy for me. I have had some Sigma, and the Tamron 28 to 75 distortion is nuts. But the distortion on this is pretty controlled. But if you want to flatten it out like in Lightroom, you just do that, and I kind of like it though. I like the little vignette that it kind of gives me. I like putting a vignette on my photos, so I got no complaints on that. And as far as anything else like ghosting, I haven't noticed it. Maybe just a little bit, but not like bad compared to some other cameras or some other lenses where it's just like that's not usable. I shot it directly into the sun, and I do like the photos that I got out of it, so I can't really complain too much about it, man. I think the image quality, I'll give it like an 8.5 if not a 9 as well, as far as image quality is concerned. And yeah, that's that with that. All right, so let's talk about the autofocus. Like I said, I do use it sometimes with the A6700, and the autofocus on this camera is amazing, so no complaints on the autofocus. I don't even know what is there to complain about. It has never missed focus. Again, I only had it for 4 months, so maybe when I take over 10,000 photos with it, I'll be able to at least pinpoint times where it has. But surprisingly and very happily, I don't know what other words to use, I'm very pleasantly pleased that it has never missed focus on an important photo that I needed. And like I said, that has happened to me before, but it has not happened with me on this lens. So as far as focusing is concerned, I think it sticks on, at least when you're looking at it through your camera, and when you look at your actual pictures, the focus is pretty much dead on. So no complaints with that, it stays focused. All right, so let's talk about use cases. The use cases I have used in this lens has been in weddings. I actually really got it for wedding photography and videography. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say this, but I did switch out the 35 to 150 Tamron for this lens, particularly because of the bodies that I do have. The bodies that I do have is the Sony 6700 and also the Sony A7 IV. And when you use the A7 IV in 4K, it crops in. So technically, and I have an FX30, so technically I have 3 crop sensor cameras when it comes to video in 60p 4K, and that other lens did not. it was too tight. It would push into 50 millimeters. So I felt like I needed, and I love the quality of that lens though. The quality of that lens was great. The only flaw I'll say is it did miss focus on certain photos that I thought I had dead on, and when I went to edit them, or even when I delivered it to clients, luckily there wasn't nothing super important. It was just like some Christmas photos of friends and stuff. It wasn't as sharp as I expected it to be, and that was quite disappointing when I figured that out. And I reviewed a lot of my older photos, and even though it passed, it did not hit the sharpness that I felt like I got myself to, because my Sigma 85mm is the sharpest thing on earth. It will cut anything, you know what I mean? So maybe I got spoiled with that lens, but because of that, I literally switched out all my lenses to go into Sigma. So I have a Viltrox 16mm, but everything else is Sigma, and it's for that reason, because I do hybrid. So at the end of the day, sharpness is super key to me. I don't want to have to worry out. I can like de-sharpen, but I don't want to have to sharpen and make it look fake. Like, it really is important to my style and my look. So with that being said, like, I bought this, I bought this strictly for, not strictly, but I bought this mainly for weddings this year so far, and I've been doing portraits with it of late. And the f2.8 allows you to keep everything in focus, that of at least not everything in focus, but your subject in focus the way you want it to. And yeah, it was a really refreshing change from using my 1.4s. As much as I love the separation those gave, I started to really appreciate the 2.8, and even stopping down to f4, you know, like, but still getting that sharpness, still getting a nice bouquet or bokeh, however you want to say it, and still just getting a nice image, man. So I felt like this covered a lot of those bases, and I'm actually presently surprised that it hasn't failed me yet. So I'm definitely going to be using it over the winter and see what it does over that. But as far as use cases, I used it in a lot of scenarios, and honestly, it passed in every situation so far. So thumbs up to Sigma on that. I think this is my most versatile lens now moving forward, and it might be with me all the time, you know, whereas my 85 becomes more of a specialty case, and my 24 pretty much stays on the gimbal with the FX30, and my 16mm is strictly for real estate. So I can get away with just this lens now, and I feel confident with that, and that took a while for me to get to that point. So let's talk about the price point for this. I live in Canada. I live actually in Stoney Creek, Ontario, which is close to like Toronto somewhat, probably like an hour away. But the price point, I bought this for like, I think 1,600 and change plus taxes at Henry's. My Tamron was about 2,300 at the time, so I was able to sell that for about like 19 and buy this one outright, and I actually bought my 24mm as well. So I can't even lie, man. For the price, man, I think it is amazing. It is a premium price though, so you gotta have a good budget and really have a good reason to get it. But if you do have the money and it makes sense to you, and if you're in the scenario where I am, where you got an A7 IV and you got some crop sensor bodies, this lens might be the good all-in-one, like, get you covering almost every scenario, you know. So definitely for the price, I think it's worth it. You do feel like you got a G Master kind of quality. I have rented G Masters before. They are amazing lenses, but my Sigma lenses really bat with it, you know. They really are on par to me with it. There's obviously some, you know, some smaller issues with it, but nothing that's a game changer at all. So definitely for the price, I think you get a premium lens, and you really can't beat it in my opinion. So yeah, that's my humble opinion about the price. And to talk about the drawbacks, I don't really know, man. There's not really no drawbacks for me, honestly. Maybe if you don't like this part that kind of pops off, you know, like this part here, like what else could you not? It's smaller, it's lighter, it's crazy image quality, its functionality is literally perfect. It gives you that premium feel. I don't really got too much drawbacks from it, honestly. I can't really think of it right now. Maybe the price, if it's not something that you're comfortable with. I know you can get other lenses like the Tamron 28-75 for about how much, like 900 or so. So the price might be the only drawback if it's out of your range, but if you do have the budget for it, I haven't met a drawback yet. You know, I might update y'all in another 6 months and let you know if I do find anything. But as far as right now, I'm cool, man. I'm cool. So in conclusion, would I recommend this lens for a hybrid shooter or a photographer or a videographer? Absolutely, man. Honestly, like if you got the budget, like I said earlier, I say go for it. You won't regret it. I have no complaints. I have no complaints so far. So I recommend it to anybody that can afford it and make sense out of it. Yeah, and just on a personal note, like I'm going to continue to use this lens a lot more in the future. I do have a couple more weddings for the rest of the year, and I might take it to my trip to Calgary. I'm not sure yet, but definitely I am going to be using this a lot more. So I will do an update maybe by the end of the year, and I am going to do a lens pretty much ranking out of all the lenses that I do have. I'm not sure where this ranks in that, but watch that video to see where that lands in the, I think I got about 5 lenses. Don't quote me on that, but I think I got about 5 lenses. So I'm going to do the whole ranking on that, and you can find out where I rank this lens amongst my top lenses that I have in my camera bag. So that being said, yes, I just got a message. Sucks that it's there. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. If you made it this far, please hit the like and subscribe. I definitely would appreciate it. Like I said in my other videos, I'm going to be trying to drop more videos for YouTube, and definitely drop a comment, man. Like let me know. Like I want to learn. I want to hear from people out there that have similar experiences, or people that use, like say like, what's the other one, the 28 to 45 Sigma 1.8, I believe. I think Sigma just dropped a new one, I think 24 to 105. So like if you guys got any experiences in those lenses, like drop it in the comment section. Let me know what you think. I don't see myself switching this out anytime soon, but you know, nothing is set in stone in life, as we say. So things can change, right? So with that being said, thank you so much for watching my video. It's your boy Albert Gorman, man. This is Down One Film and Photography, and we out. Peace.